everybody, back with another drink review here today, and I'm going to also be doing Gum Chewing Super Nintendo video game collection. The drink I have here is Arizona Frost Chillzicle, but that is a juice cocktail. I don't think I've ever had this flavor before. It looks like some kind of, ice pop type thing. Shake well. Real quickly too, when it comes to drinks, unless there's I gotta look at the caffeine count on some of these energy drinks, because I can do the ones that are in the ones typically, I think, because those two rains were in the threes, and man, my heartburn, like I over here in the chest area, the pain, the stuff I was getting a little while back, it was bad off the one, and then I was like, oh, maybe I also ate some other stuff I shouldn't have yesterday, and then I had another one, these are being filmed and then put up later, but that other one I had with the end of September ramble, I was feeling it there. I was like, I can't fucking do it. I can't get those high caffeine drinks, energy drinks. I also had a great bait I got. It was from this gas station, Shell gas station. They have the great baits there, which is always nice. This one has a little bit of a creamy taste to it. It does actually mimic a kind of an ice pop taste fairly well. Let's see what we got in here. Pear juice, lemon juice, strawberry juice. I do taste some strawberry. Orange juice, blueberry juice, raspberry juice, cranberry juice are all from concentrate. That's a lot in there, but at least they're words I know. It's pretty good. See, I'm tasting strawberry. Orange I'm not getting. A little bit of raspberry. I mean, actually, maybe a little cranberry, too, from one here. It's not bad, though. And once again, with these Arizonas, they're always very refreshing, and they're always pretty light, to be honest with you. I love the Grey Bait. Grey Bait's probably a top 5 drink for me. I've talked about it. I reviewed it at some point. Maybe I'll re-review it, but it's always great. This one's a light too, perfect, kind of crisp as well. I'll just go through all the words I've used. It's a pretty good blend, this thing. It has a nice taste. And these kind of drinks you want cold. These days I can drink sodas warm, but this kind of drink, like in Arizona, no, I can't do it. It's gotta be cold. This is good though. And these were $1 a piece at the gas station. $1.06, I guess. I'm going by New York, but the tax in New York is more. It's almost 2 cents more than down here. It's 7 cents here, but these are 99 cents. We count to $2.12. Up there, it's like 8.65. At least in Suffolk and Nassau. Because the Sheetz gas station charges $1.89 for these things. And I love it too. Well, this one doesn't have it, but the older ones, the Great Bay, the regular watermelon stuff, they have the 99 like plastered onto the thing. I go an 8 on this. It's light, refreshing. It's a nice blend of those tastes. I like most Arizonas. I remember Arizona used to be big back in the day, like in the early 90s, mid-90s, for me in high school, even like middle school and stuff. It was almost like it was this, and it was called Mystic Iced Tea. It was just Mystic Tea. That was pretty good too, but I don't know if that is even sold anymore, because at least up on Long Island, that disappeared after a little while. Like it was probably around through most of the 90s, and it was just gone. And Arizona is still going. But anyway, what's the calories in this? 200 a can. 200 a serving. Well, no, it is 200 a can, sorry. It's 70 a serving. I figured I'd throw a game collection in here. Combine. I like to combine the drink reviews with stuff. But we got how many games do I have here? 14. First one is, and I'm pretty sure I did a gameplay on this at some point. Scooby-Doo Mystery. It's a cool game. It's a platformer. The Genesis one is better because it's a point-and-click game, which, in my opinion, is perfectly suited for Scooby-Doo. Same thing with the classic Creep Capers for the Game Boy Color and the Nintendo 64. It's that point-and-click vibe. Although the Game Boy Color one is, I think, more straight-up point-and-click. This one, while not bad, and some of the other ones in the platformers, the 3D platformers that came out PS2, GameCube, and Xbox, are solid as well. But Scoob's at its best when it's in that adventure point-and-click game where you're actually like solving the mysteries and stuff and finding clues and items. But this one's not bad. You use Shag and Scoob. I know they get scared by stuff, so that's like their health. And then you meet up with the others, Daphne, Fred, and Velma. It's a very cheap Super Nintendo game, which sometimes is hard to find outside of sport games. Tiny Toon Adventures, Buster, Bust Loose. I got this one originally for my fiance because she likes them. I've showed the ones on the Nintendo. Those are her original copies, I believe. Or maybe not original. She had them when she was a kid, and then I guess she bought them again before she met me. I don't know when. But this is a pretty cool game. You use Buster. I think this is the one where you hit the one button, he speeds up and he goes super fast. Stuff gets a little tough to control when that happens. But looks nice graphically as well. Konami. Konami was making good TV show, cartoon-based games. Obviously, Capcom was as well back then. But another cool one. I have the one on the Genesis as well. It's different than this. She has the two on the NES, and I have one that I got her for the original Game Boy. Got five Tiny Toons games. I do remember the cartoon. I wasn't super into it. I was a little, I don't know when it started. I was probably like 12 or something. Maybe it started like 91. Maybe a little earlier. I don't know. I do remember I've seen episodes, but Paperboy 2. I like this game. I always liked this game. That's why I wanted to get it again. I had this one as a kid. It's just fun. It's Paperboy. You gotta deliver to the right houses. You're getting chased by death, literally. The Grim Reaper, dogs, people are throwing stuff at you. There's tons of obstacles, and you do the obstacle courses at the end. I think this one introduced like 2 parts of the street or something. And I think the more papers you get in, you can add subscriptions. There's more houses to go to and stuff. And you can break windows and shit. And if you hit enemies or obstacles, they'll just stop. Their frame will stop. But Paperboy 2. Here's another classic. I wouldn't necessarily call it a good game, but Pit Fighter by THQ, the toy headquarters. They don't call themselves that anymore. Maybe they do. This had the digitized graphics like Mortal Kombat. It was cool. You get into these fights in like old warehouses. You got crowds around you. You get stuff like I think you can go into the crowd and the crowd can mess with you. Maybe I can't remember. You get weapons and stuff. It's not a bad game, but I think graphically that was more like, oh look, it looks like real people, you know, something. It's more known for that than its gameplay. And another cheap SNES game. NCAA Basketball. Talk about cheap Super Nintendo games. I had this game when I was a kid. I think I still have the manual floating around, my original manual. I love this game. This was actually a Nintendo developing and publishing this. And they did Stanley Cup hockey as well. And it had that 3D, like, you couldn't, there was no crowd. It was like all blue. But the court, like, rotated. It looked nice. It's a nice looking game. You don't have real players in here, but I think there are the actual colleges. I always liked this, and I liked Stanley Cup hockey game as well. But I like this one a little more. It worked well in that perspective. I think this one I got for $3 at the Video Game Trading Post in the Bayshore Mall a couple of years ago. Super Wrestlemania. This game struggles to work on the run. I think I got to work a few times. I can't remember. But it's a wrestling game from that era. They're always pretty good. Royal Rumble was my favorite. This is not. This is similar in graphics and stuff. What do you got here? You got Macho Man, Hogan, Sid Vicious, or no, he was Psycho Sid. Oh, was that Demolition, I believe. Jake the Snake. Undertaker's probably an enemy. Razor Ramon. This one differed. There was a couple differences in the rosters between this and the Genesis one. Wario's Woods puzzle game. I got this one for my fiance too because she loves the NES one. This is the same game as the NES one. It just looks better graphically. There's one where you're like using Toad and you gotta like pick up the things to line them up, and there's like these enemy things come down. You gotta get rid of them, and then Wario. First it's Birdo in the corner and everything's fine, and then Wario comes in and he starts like hitting the screen and the thing drops further, and you don't want it to drop all the way. And then he leaves and Birdo comes back. I played some of it. It's not bad. I'm not the best at like those kind of games. I never have been. NBA Live 95. Classic basketball game. This would have come out in 94, so this would have been after the Knicks and the Rockets played in the finals. So you got John Starks there, Robert Horry, looks like Charles Smith. That might be Otis Thorpe or Olajuwon. I can't tell. It's very small. Actually, well, yeah, Otis Thorpe would have still been on them at this point. But it's probably Olajuwon. And then Otis Thorpe got traded mid-season for Drexler. Clyde Drexler. I think I always like this game. This is the first one in the live series after NBA Showdown. And then they changed it because isometric, like angled view. It works. It's a fun game. I remember one of my members was playing it. I remember tripping out once. And I just popped this in and started playing. And I was just hucking up threes from half court. And half of them were going in. And I could swear I saw the rotation in the wrist. I'm like, these graphics, it's insane. Another great sports game. One of my favorite tennis games. Probably this one behind Virtua Tennis on the Dreamcast. Super Tennis. Cool game. The sequel to Tennis. On the NES. It's fun. It looks nice. It still looks pretty nice. It doesn't hold up gameplay-wise as much as I wanted it to. But it's still cool. When you switch sides, the court turns with the Mode 7. I forget. I think you can do little tournaments. And you can doubles in here as well. This is another one I remember. Like, there's like... If I was like counting 5 games that I really associate with the Super Nintendo, this is one of them. Super Mario World's one of them. It's like Super Castlevania 4 is definitely one of them. Final Fantasy 3 or 6, but 3 then is definitely another one. I'm trying to think of like another game that I really ActRaiser. It's probably ActRaiser. Even though I love UN Squadron, it's a top 10 game for me of all time. Yeah, UN Squadron too, but ActRaiser as well. So we'll say top 6. Wizardry 5. I didn't play much of this. I picked it up because it was actually cheap. It's like $6 at the Video Game Trading Post. It's a first-person role-playing game, kind of like almost a dungeon crawler. You go into dungeons and stuff. I do need to play more of it at some point. Any kind of role-playing game on the Super Nintendo that's under $10 is rare, so it's like you almost want to get it. It's rare in a different way because they're usually expensive. Baseball Simulator 1000. I still have the manual, my original manual for this. This is not my original copy of the game. I love this game. When I was a kid, you have like super teams on here, and the pitchers will like, I think it's regular teams. There might be different leagues, right? And then you get to the one where it's like, you have different like abilities. Like a guy will throw a pitch that goes like this, or one that kind of turns into 3 baseballs. Which one's the real one? A super rocket pitch, stuff like that. I think you can do stuff in the field where you can kind of go up the wall and stuff. When you're a hitter, you have like the rocket hit and all types of different things like that. It's a really cool game. A Baseball Simulator was on the NES. Super Baseball Simulator 1000. Three left. Super Return of the Jedi. Awesome game. These graphically look great. This Super Star Wars, Super Empire Strikes Back. They look great. They follow the movies. And this one you're using Luke. You can use Chewie, Han. I don't know if you can use Leia. I'm pretty sure you can use Lando as well. I can't remember if you can use it. You definitely use Han, Chewie, and Luke. I'm pretty sure you use those other two as well. I could be wrong. Great looking game. Sounds great. They're very hard, these games. This one's not as hard as the other two, but they are tough games. And this one you have Luke has his force abilities as well. And these, all 3 of the Super Star Wars games on the Super Nintendo are not that expensive. I think you can get all 3 each. This one was under 20. Super Star Wars definitely under 20, and Empire Strikes Back has got to be under 20 as well. I need to get the other 2. Growing up, I didn't have this one. I had Super Star Wars and Super Empire Strikes Back. And I had I think I did gameplay of Super Empire Strikes Back, but I didn't sell it. I need to get the other 2 just to have all 3 of them. Tecmo Super Bowl, I got this one actually down here at the Toy Busters. It's only $3 too. You can still see it here. Kind of a little bit of a gap. I swapped out the back of the copy. This copy was pretty damaged. You can see some of it on the front too. But I swapped it out. I forget with one. I had a random. Maybe I swapped it out with. I swapped it out with Super Wrestlemania. That was it originally. See the crack and the labels ripped. Either way, it was only $3, which is a great deal for it. This game's awesome. It's my personal favorite in the series. You can argue Tecmo Super Bowl on the NES is the best. But this one's great, graphically upgraded. It still has that fun gameplay. Using all the teams, simulating seasons if you want. You can play as every team if you want to, which would be kind of nuts. Well, not every team. Let's say, well, you'd have to play an actual person. They're super fun games. Actual players keep stats. That's what the NES version did when that came out. That was kind of groundbreaking. It's like, oh my god, it keeps stats and everything. This is nuts. This game's awesome. And still holds up to me graphically. Gameplay-wise. And the final game here is Indiana Jones' Greatest Adventures. This game's awesome too. This is one I did not have back then, I'm pretty sure. This one just takes the first 3 indie movies at the time. They were the only ones. Raise the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, Last Crusade. Puts them all in here. It's made, well, the one is THQ. It was weird. The Superstar was either THQ or JVC. It's in the same graphical style, though. It's LucasArts probably developing them. And, not publishing them, but developing them. And, it looks nice. It sounds great. And the gameplay in this is pretty fun. It is tough. I don't know if it's as tough as Superstar Wars. And those games, too, like this one, they have the Mode 7. This one, the raft part from Temple of Doom is in there, and you're going down the thing. And down the mountain stuff. And you're doing the trials from Last Crusade. And you get chased by the boulder in the beginning of Race Lost Ark. It's a really good game, this one. It's not overly expensive, by like $30, $35. But it's a really cool game. But yeah, that is a drink review here today of Frost Chillzicle. I guess that's how it's said. This is good. It's got a bunch of different tastes, but it's pretty good. Crisp, refreshing, light. Nice blend of those flavors. 8 out of 10. And a gum chewing Super Nintendo game collection. But yeah, thanks everybody for checking this out, and have a good